Good morning. We are on day 3, which is Glacier Day. You can see the fog on the water.
So we just saw 2 blowholes, and now we're waiting for them to pop back up. The water, you can see like the fog, like just resting on the water. It's like just something to like just look at out here. And I understand now how people say that pictures and stuff can't do it justice. I don't know what our eyes are. I know they're probably better than 4K, but 10K, whatever. But yeah. Even though today's overcast and cloudy, it's still something to see. We are on deck 10 right now, in line to get our photo taken with Mickey.
Yes.
We have my other outfit I'm going to swap out right now. It's pretty cool outside. It's not about 78 degrees, so...
Why are you giving false information? So it's very windy on the top deck. So even though it's only like 50 degrees for real, it's just so cold. Like it blows right through you. So these costumey outfits we have on will probably be replaced as soon as we get these pictures.
Yes.
Because this is not ideal. But you know, it's exciting. So we're in the second
viewing of Mickey.
Of the characters. Somebody took a little extra time to get up this morning, and therefore we did not get the first ones.
So yeah,
he will be
right
out of the
now,
doghouse once we actually get these pictures. So, but we ordered room service breakfast because we wanted to. Well, again, someone was trying to get ready, and also wanted to just enjoy the deck and see all the things. We're not quite in the fjord yet. We're still on our way there. Once we get there, then we're told that we will stop, and the ship will stop moving. So, and that should happen probably around noon or so.
This is the line, Minnie, as you see across the deck. It's for Minnie. Doesn't seem that long, but I don't know if it's behind this funnel right here, how far back it goes. But people are already setting up a line. I believe that one starts at 10:45. I don't know.
While you're in line, you get treated to spectacular views. We got our Mickey photo, and now we are briskly heading over to the mini side and hoping that we can still get in the line. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we're gonna try. We actually missed the cutoff of the line, and this was going to be the only time we could do this because her next appearance was while we were on the Glacier tour. This cast member, who I'm pretty sure is friends with Tiana, felt sorry for me and let me in the line so I could get these amazing pictures. Cast members are awesome, and we love them. But if these character meet and greets are important to you, which of course they are, then start early.
You guys can see straight ahead. Look at that glacier behind the dome.
Oh, we're matching today. Minnie loves it. Oh, so cute. Perfect. I love it.
That was like twice the... Wait, where are we?
Hi there, Donald. Look at that.
Oh my goodness! Hi, Donald! Oh my goodness! That's so cool!
Pluto and Donald just left, so Pluto's out now. Pluto's line is like almost non-existent.
Look at that. Yes, and she has all of you, Daisy. I know. Perfect.
Because you are just amazing.
Like that, I love it.
Okay.
Perfect. Big smiles.
I cannot stress enough how this, if you like nature and like seeing really, really great views, I highly recommend you try to book a trip to Alaska. You can see how the rock is like been worn away, and the captain who came on earlier was talking about how during the last ice age, the ice was about a mile above these rocks, and a mile is very, very far and very high, but all of this was worn down as the ice melted and water and wind just like shaped the landscape here. It's just so amazing out here. Getting ready for another photo.
Hello. I know. He's swimming with the best pal in the house. All right, big smiles for Donald's camera first.
Thank you, Donald. Number one.
Always, always.
Just came back to the room, and so this is an aft view of, I guess we're at Dawes Glacier. I'm gonna go over here. It's like literally you can see this chair out the way, like rock formations, and look at that right there. You probably can't hear it or feel it, but the boat is vibrating right now, and I'm not quite sure why, but I guess we came from that direction right there, guys. I'll say it a third time, if not the fourth time. You've got to experience this up here. It's because whatever cruise line you choose a cruise line that comes up here, because it's just, yeah, something.
We are about to transition to our experience on the Glacier tour. However, it's really important to know that if that's not something you can do, you are likely going to be able to see the glacier from the ship. So here we are in the aft cabin, and you can see here that the glacier is becoming visible. And as the ship continues to turn, more and more of it will be visible. So you can have a great experience without the Glacier tour boat. Also, if you decide to chill in your room, you still get amazing views.
We're on the Glacier Explorer.
Almost did make it, but
Yeah. We almost became real close. So we got on the boat.
and
How was getting on the boat?
it was a little bit of challenge because we had to rush, and so if I had more time, I think it would have been a little bit easier. But once you leave the ship, you walk down a little gangway. It's very narrow, so
Steep.
They
told us it wasn't steep.
but it was pretty steep. It was steep. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any video because Brooke was trying to watch me, and so
that wasn't happening.
But once you get on the boat, I brought my walker, brought my rollator. You can't use your walker or rollator on the ramp itself, but once you get on the boat, it's fine. You can use that. So there is a step up you have to go over. That's a little minor thing. If you can step over like a little, maybe 1.5 inch, 2 inch high.
And it's not a step up, right? It's more like
Step
a
over.
ledge that you have to put, like when your foot lands, it's going to be at the same level as it was when it started.
Right. So
But
that's
you
a
have
step over it.
Step over it, yeah.
Okay. And so, well, once you get past that, there's like seating all around. But yeah, once I got on, sat down, and this is fun.
How you doing today? Good? Good. Welcome aboard.
So captain is slowly spinning the boat, where he says we're about a quarter mile from the Dawes Glacier itself, but I think we're much closer than that. What does the captain know? Probably not a lot. And I don't know if you can see, but the Disney Wonder, oops, it's way back there.
Big one, big one, big one.
Oh, it's over there.
So when I piece of the glacier fell off. It created big waves. Naturalists on board said, just be aware the boat's going to rock a little bit more than normal. So just be aware of that. So hold on to something. It's blue because of the pressure of the ice pushed out all the oxygen. So glacial ice is considered a mineral rock. It's over a quarter mile away from the glacier, but there are 600 feet total, 300 above the ice water line and 300 feet below water line. It's about a mile across, he said. Also about 25 miles long, but only the first 10 we need to worry about because past 10 miles is Canadian, so we don't got to worry about that part. This is a very, very unique and fun experience.
It's just so big. It's huge. This is admittedly pretty awesome. A little sad that Adam can't come outside because there's not really a safe way for him to do that, but he's downstairs. I'm taking some more pictures, and then my plan is to go downstairs and enjoy this with him because yeah, this is pretty fantastic. But we're turning around, so every other side is what am I trying to say? Every other side, like they flip back and forth. So like right now I'm hanging on the side that no one's on and waiting for it to turn around, which it's doing. Actually, if I tilt just a little bit, and my hair is like just so big inside. So here we are. Now everyone's gonna rush to the side, but here we are. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
I would strongly, highly recommend if you are ambulatory, you can walk short distance. You can bring your walker roll later, and you can get on a boat. I've been sitting in the same spot, but the boat's been turning, so I've gotten great shots. So, like, just look at that. Like the blues, and check out this shot right here. Like the Dawes Glacier in the background with this iceberg right here. Yeah, so this basically broke off of Dawes. How many days and weeks ago? We don't know. I don't think they know. This is fun. Initial thoughts of it, yes. This is very enjoyable.
Yeah. So I was able to go upstairs where the open decks, and so just there's 2 open decks. I just went up to the first one and was able to get some photos. So you'll see those and some video. I mean, it's truly spectacular. It's hard to describe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, some people are like, it was life changing. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it was pretty awesome.
But it's contemplative. This word, yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, it makes you think about how nature, how time and glaciers worked millions of years ago, and like right now, looking out through my window, you can see the vegetation is increasing more and more. As we were closer to the glacier itself, it was very little, just all rock. But then we saw like leaching and saw like moss, and so we're getting more and more trees are starting to appear. It's nice. If you like nature or like looking at just thinking about how the earth is formed and all this other stuff, it's a good place. I would recommend coming here.
I am not an outside girly by any stretch of the imagination.
I think you mentioned that once or twice, but
Yeah.
yes.
But this is really cool. Like I would recommend this. It's pricey, that there's no getting around that. But if you're coming all the way out here to Alaska and you can physically do this, then try to do it.
Try to do it.
If you can't, right? Because I mean, not everybody's going to be able to, and that's a real shame. There is a Mendenhall Glacier in Juneau. It's a good option to be able to go see. At least we think we're going to go there tomorrow, and so we'll be able to tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. No, day after tomorrow. And so we'll be able to give you a sense of whether that is a good glacier fix, and the boat does you know, semi close. And so
Right.
you get a good view from the boat. I wasn't sure how well, and again, I think your miles may vary, right? Some days they're able to get really close, sometimes they weren't. They were able to get pretty close. And so you could see a
He has
decent amount,
photos. Yeah, I think I have a
you
couple of
know,
photos showing that.
and you know, if you have a pair of binoculars, you know, you're going to be able to see good stuff. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But if you have the opportunity to do this, it's worth doing.
Yeah.
Screaming child and all.
But like I said, we got pretty close. It's like we did partially.
Quarter mile.
A quarter.
Yeah, we got to a quarter
But
mile from it.
it's so big, it looks much, much closer.
Oh yeah.
Much closer.
I mean, it's a
So,
mile wide.
recommended. Now we're in the boat. We see the boat now. Actually, the boat, like I said, went back, and now we can see it now. So we're not no longer refugees anymore. So, yeah.
It is sort of weird though to see like the boat fly, you know, sail away. Like we'll talk about. I assume they have to back out for whatever reason, so
Okay.
probably can't be in this area for too long. So I'm sure it's for safety that they had to back out. This small boat can handle more things, obviously. So, but so we're gonna go ahead back now to boat, and then you know, relax for a
See,
little
we
bit.
have
and then
relaxed a
dinner.
little bit. Yeah. We'll see.
It's frozen night. Don't know if we're gonna go to the frozen show, but it's frozen night.
This is fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's what you hoped for when you were like, I want to go to Alaska.
Yes. I think so. This gave me a, like I said, I like cool nature and
As we
stuff.
make our way through
So it's
Endicott
like,
Harbor,
it
I wanted to talk
was
to you guys a little bit about how the erosion of the glaciers helped form
interesting.
and shape this area.
So this is called Wedding Cake Falls. The waterfalls here are normally perpetually all year round because of the rainfall they get, because of the snow melt. And there's some springs and rivers that very few of these stop flowing. During the latter part of years in winter and stuff, I guess the snowfall and ice rain packs up top. And then as they go cooler and starts to melt, you see that it's just always coming down. And so we have another iceberg in the water. Captain's got to go around. Won't be able to get too close to it because of that iceberg right there.
Later that same evening.
Today's a little bit of a long day. As you see, Brooke is about to tough all over from all the excursion stuff we did. This morning we got up. We got pictures with the characters, with Mickey. You see I'm partially still dressed in an outfit with my flannel green shirt and my Mickey rubber hat on. I didn't have overalls on, but I took those off because they were like,
You were over it.
oh, I was over it. Plus, it's hard to go to the bathroom, so I had to change out. After I did Mickey, or we did Mickey, we hopped in the mini line, and that was also, the lines would get long. So, pro tip, Adam tip, go there at least a half an hour before you think the line's supposed to start. So, for example, the line starts, or her character comes out at 1:15, be in line at 12:45, because other people are already in line waiting. After Minnie, we got our photos of Minnie. Then we decided to go find the next character, which I believe was Daisy. Yes, we went hopped in line for Daisy. We got in that line pretty early. I was there. I was a fifth. I thought I got there early, but I was the fifth in line, and so the lines, as soon as Daisy
like
ends.
45 minutes before the time.
So after Daisy, I hopped in the other side of the boat, port side, then got in Donald's line. And so,
Yeah. So we
spent
did
time with
support-
Donald's.
support characters. So yeah, the way they do it is they'll have usually two characters at a time. Usually like one, and then a half an hour later the other one starts. And so there's two lines going.
Alternate.
And then and then when the first character's line is cut off, which is like no later than 15 minutes after the line starts. So if they say 9 a.m. that Mickey starts, then by 9:15, no more people in line. People will start lining up for
The next
character on that side. So like if that's, let's say, Goofy,
Pluto. Yeah.
whoever, right? Then they'll have people in the next line. So like it's a very long line. But we were out for probably 2 hours to get the first two
Photos,
characters,
yeah.
right? And then we had
It started to rain.
it started to rain.
It was
we had
cold.
a very short break, and then we went back out, and it was like another hour. So yeah, it's a time commitment. Now, the nice thing about it is you have amazing scenery. For the 9 o'clock ones, you're not quite in the fjord yet.
Yeah.
When it starts to get to like the 11 o'clock ones, you're starting to enter the fjord, and so that's going to be prettier than the early morning ones.
Yeah.
But the advantage of the early morning ones is that you get them out of the way, but those do fill up pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
So because people want to like make sure they get those characters.
So
we didn't make the first one for reasons. So we went out to the second one, and they cut off the mini line early, so we almost didn't get Minnie. And Minnie has 3 outside appearances on Glacier Day, and the third one was going to be when we were on the glacier boat. So I just kind of stood around a little bit, and I was like sad, and I was like, and then they felt pity on me and let me in.
no, how you know there's a pity on me? Because they don't know I'm not a mini fan.
There, they felt pity on one of us and decided to, or both of us, and decided to let us in the line.
That we were the last people
We were the last people to see Minnie. So that was, I appreciate that, because we were there in time, like for the 15-minute cutoff, because they had told us that as long as you're there within 15 minutes, because we were in the Mickey line and then we had to run over to the Minnie line, but they had cut it off early. So
because it's like it was so many people.
Which so had we not looked sad, they might not let us in. So make sure that you are
choose your characters wisely.
Yeah, choose it wisely. Know your schedule, and yes, the lines. I'm told the lines die down a little bit in the afternoon, but you're taking a risk. So if those photos are important to you, you're doing a Disney Alaska sailing, right? Like,
there's
you want
very
those
few
pictures.
times you get these kind of photos.
Save the money and go on Royal Caribbean. You know what I mean? So get the pictures, right?
Yeah.
And we dressed in theme for our photos and had some fun with it. A lot of people did. Some people were like dead ringers. Most people were like thematically similar, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was cute. It was fun to see people like dressing up and getting all excited about the characters. Families with kids, but lots of adults with no children in sight who were really into it. So, we were not the only weirdos. There were lots of us.
They're not weirdos. Okay, all right, move on.
So after we did so another tip that, is plan a time to eat, because I didn't, and like, that didn't, it did not work out well for me.
Right.
So, think about, when am I going to eat in amongst all of these things that are going on? Glacier Explorer, the character photos, blah, blah, blah. Like, plan ahead. I did not. I should have.
So we had an excursion for the Glacier Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
Got down we were late. So we were like, the last one, hurry, get off, because they were almost like trying to say, you got 1 minute, because we got to push it. And so
because we were late, someone else was able to get online too. So that was like, we helped them get on the boat by us being late and slow. But yeah, get there early. Like, when they said, like, we had every intention of getting there at 3:10, because it said get there at 3:10. We were there like at 3:12. No, they mean this is 3:10 is when we're leaving, come earlier. That wasn't really clear, right?
Right.
And online I'd seen all the photos about people like doing this thing, and they're like sitting in the theater or whatever for a while, and so, yes, I knew we were like running 2 minutes late, but I didn't realize how desperate that 2 minutes was going to become. Right. So they actually, and I also realized once we were already on the boat that we never actually opened the envelope that they gave us for the excursion. We were just going off of what they had emailed us. So the envelope may have explained like, oh, we actually mean you need to be there, 15 minutes before.
Early ahead time, so we're all getting on the boat.
My brain didn't, compute that, and so that's on me. So we got there. We used Adam's rollator. There was a little discussion. There was some debate between the person running the excursion and the staff on the
ship
on the cruise ship as to whether it was okay to use a walker on the gangway plank thingy ramp thing that goes down. And because the man who operates the boat was very much not wanting him to use the walker on the ramp, right? He wanted him to like use the
handrails
and
go down
that way. And the woman was like, no. They said we can use walkers. Now, I'm not entirely certain that the walker would have fit.
Yeah, it's pretty narrow.
In there. The woman said he's allowed to use his walker. And then when Adam got to that spot, the guy was like, okay, now hold on to these bars and I'm going to take the walker.
He took it down. And
so, like, didn't really give him an option, but whatever. It worked out fine. Like, it was fine. Also, the crew stepped in and they wanted to be the ones to help him down as opposed to having me do it, which I assumed either was they just wanted to be nice or it could have been a liability thing, but they both times they like sandwiched themselves and they were like, they had somebody in front of him, somebody behind him, and so cool, right? And then once he got to the lower level or to the like flat, got off the ramp,
it was on the ship itself, on a little tender boat.
Then he was back to his walker and
roll later and go to the thing.
Helping him get there. So
there is one little, if you do decide to try this, there is a little step over. You have to go over under the door. You have to step over it to get onto the inner side. It's not necessarily a higher level or lower level. It's just basically flat, flush. You just have to step over the lip to get onto the in the inner cabin. Once you get in the inner
ship thing, right? It's like there's a
like a bulkhead door. Like a bulkhead door. So, so once you get into that cabin, there's like plenty of seats all around. I decided to sit near the window, and so after I was sitting down, one of the naturalists came on, started talking. The boat did its thing, and so we finally got to the glacier itself. Explained that it's about a mile across, 300 feet above the water line, 300 feet below the water line, and blue, very blue. So we have photos, hopefully, that came out pretty well. And we spent about a half an hour there. The boat goes back and forth like a little bit, spins around and does other stuff. So if you're sitting inside, you'll be near a window. You'll get great shots through the windows. We apologize in advance for the reflections inside the windows, but unfortunately, that's how it was. Unfortunately,
a lot of reflections.
So, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, they did a really good job of making sure that both sides of the boat got a good view, and so if you sat near a window, you were going to see all the things. Right? Yeah. Which I thought was really good. So the lower level is all enclosed. Right, so there's no one that's going to be blocking your view or anything if you're sitting on that main level. There is a little
second level
cafe in the back where they do have coffee,
free hot cocoa
and donut
munchkins
that are included in your fare, and then they also have like a bar and they sell there's a
glacier martinis and stuff, whatever, I don't know.
Glacieritas. It's like a margarita with the
glacier ice.
Is very popular. Obviously, we did not do that.
Yeah.
You can also get glacier ice in regular drinks, but we didn't care for that. But they do have, and so they have some snacks and stuff back there. And then you go up a level, and the second level is part inside, part outside. So you could again sit, but if you're sitting, you're absolutely going to be blocked by people who are walking around. Keep that in mind. And but then if you're outside, you're outside. Now, the funny thing so I went up by myself, and I was out on the second level. There's also a third level that is standing room only, that is only open when the
boat is stationary.
And apparently you do get the best views up there, but I wasn't going up there. So when they do this spinning thing, and at first, like, literally everybody went to one side of the boat, and so you could
Yeah, you could feel the boat
it's like, come on, people. He said he was going to go around in circles.
Yeah.
So I kind of went to the back, and then I was like, I'm going to go park on this side that no one is on, and so I did that.
Sure enough.
And then, somebody we met on the ship did this. He was like, yeah, no, this is smart. Let's do this. Right, we're going to wait.
Yeah.
And then so we turned around, and then we had like this prime location for shoot, and so all the pictures that I have are pretty much from that spot.
Yeah.
And we saw a caving, which is when big chunks of ice
Crack off and fall off.
the glacier, which is like very cool, but also sad, right? Because I mean, the glacier is
melting,
right? Like that's why this happens. But when the caving happens, it's very sort of
dramatic.
it's just like,
because you have to also realize that the piece you're seeing, because you're a quarter of a mile away, it's a huge piece.
It's huge.
It's huge. It
And
may not look like it.
see it fall, and then
The wave
waves come, and then
rock
we
the
were
boat.
Like, hold on the boat, because it's gonna because I mean these are, I mean this is like, so it's a 600-foot thing
Piece of ice.
that is crashing into the ocean, quarter mile away from you. Like it's got
Yeah.
that's
It
to
it doesn't look far, but it is far and like huge. So, but yeah, that was nice.
We were quarter mile away, which he said is the closest you can get safely. So there's that.
Yeah.
He also said that caving was the biggest one he's seen in a few weeks. So it was cool to be able to see that, even though it's sad, but it's, the implications. Because like that, I mean, the glacier used to be so much bigger. Like that whole area that we were in used to be the glacier, right? And then it's just sort of
slowly receding back and so because
it's
of
still like 25 miles or 25 miles deep still. 10 miles of it is the U.S. and then the other 15 is Canada. And
he's like, we don't got to worry about that part.
We don't care about that part. We only care about the first 10. So it's still massive, but it's not as massive. But it used to be crazy massive, right? So that was sort of interesting to see.
So yeah, after that we boat left. Well, during that time while we were paying attention, the Disney Wonder just turned tail and ran. It was like,
Leaves
where's the boat?
A lot earlier than the tender boats do.
Right.
So had we not done this, I think we would have had a lot less time with the Glacier. The amount of time, like I had been under the impression that like the boat was going to spin a few times. I don't think so. I think it only spun once, because when we were leaving, it was the back of the boat was finally at the back, so like we would have seen it from our thing, except for we weren't in our room anymore. And then the next thing we know, it's like
gone
back out. So like I don't think it seems like it only went around once.
So so the boat spun around once and it left, and then while we're on the tender boat, that spun around a couple times and drove back and forth a couple times. Got a lot of cool footage and stuff like that.
We saw a really big iceberg, which was cool.
Yeah, on our way back.
The kind of icebergs you
like
saw.
Iceberg dead ahead.
Yeah, like iceberg.
Yeah, iceberg.
It was. I mean, it
was
was
almost bigger than this boat. Almost
bigger than the boat. It was definitely bigger than the boat. It wasn't as tall as the boat from the waterline up, but also like it would have been much bigger going down, right? So it was like a proper iceberg, like what you know.
So so after that we went around that a couple times, got a couple shots of that. Then we went to something called Wedding Falls, or
Wedding Cake Falls.
Wedding Cake, yeah.
It was a waterfall, and so as we were filming the waterfall, I was noticing that there were, when I had my sunglasses on,
polarized lenses. That's what I was just about to say.
Polarized lenses.
You need to bring a pair.
Yeah, bring those.
Bring a pair.
It like the rocks are like all painted, right? Like so you don't see it unless you have the polarized lenses on.
Yeah.
But, like it creates this crazy like pink
purples and greens and
blue and just like really deep colors. And I then remembered that I had a polarized filter on my camera, and so I quickly threw that on so that others could see the crazy thing I was seeing.
Yeah.
It was
a couple of our shots we have polarized lenses on. It is crazy because I didn't notice it until Brooke said, I'm like, she's like, put these on. I'm like, why? Put these on. I'm like, okay. I put like, okay. Yeah, now I see. And so, yeah, it's something. So if you do decide to try this, bring polarized lenses because it's so worth it.
Whoa. And so what so Adam asked the guy, like, what's that about? And he was saying that what you're seeing is the mineralization in the different areas, and so it's going to like show up in different colors, and it was just so gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh.
So after that, we basically sped past the boat. We saw the Disney Wonder on our port side, and then we ran past it. There was,
went way past it and then came back around. I don't know what all that was about.
Yeah, it was just weird.
But,
so
yeah. And there were two different boats out. Like, so one leaves from the aft and one leaves from the forward. And so I don't know if they were like needing to line up or whatever, but because they had to like wait until till the ship, the Disney Wonder, stopped so that they could port. So like the Disney Wonder was still leaving, and then the tender boats, the Glacier boats, caught up to it.
Right.
So yeah, but the Glacier boats, it's actually a company in Juneau, and so they
drive 3 hours
come
coming
3
up here in the
hours
morning, and yeah,
people. But I mean,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
So,
in my opinion, it's worth it.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, but we are so tired.
So let's probably speed up a little bit.
So tired.
Getting back on the ship, it's a steep ramp. Brooke has hopefully got good shots of that.
Not of you, but of the ramp.
Of the ramp itself going. It is pretty steep, and I had to put a little muscle in there to like walk up the ramp, like and pull myself up the ramp. And the guy was like behind me, and has like arms behind me just in case I fell. And so they were in front of me. So basically, going down is fine, but going back up, you may need to work out.
Like it was more effort.
It was much more effort going up the ramp because it's getting back on the ship.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, like for me, it was steep, right? So yeah, it was, and it was funny because when we went to guest services to like talk about doing this at the beginning, or port, whatever, the port desk, she was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not that steep, ma'am.
It's steep.
I want to go find her, and teach her what steep means because."
Yeah, it's different.
I was like, are you like? Because even based on what I'd seen on
maybe it's for ambulatory people. It's not that steep.
Like it was steep for me. Like
okay.
I was like, no,
okay.
no. I mean, maybe the time that she did it, it was like high tide, low tide, whatever's gonna make the boats go. I don't know. But yeah, it was a lot. Like I don't think that would have qualified as an ADA ramp. Like to just give you a right. Like it was not ADA. In terms of like, which is why you can't. One of the reasons you can't have a wheelchair. Also, it's like this wide.
It's narrow, very narrow.
Yeah. But it was like if you can do it, it's worth it. If you can't do it, it's not the end of the world. But it was, like I would not say it was life changing. Some people come off
eye opening, more like.
Yeah. It was
eye opening.
It was definitely eye opening.
Eye opening.
But it's if you can do it. Highly recommend it, but if you can't, there are other options.
Yeah.
So once we got back on the ship, then we crashed. So tonight is Frozen night. There was and so because there's no fireworks or pirate night on sailings in fjords, right? So neither here nor the Norwegian fjords, they don't have fireworks. For obvious reasons, animals, etc. And so they have these Frozen nights, and they have a Frozen show with, Elsa and Kristoff and all folks, right? We saw a lot of kids leaving it, right? I think it's very popular. We were too tired to care.
Yeah.
So check other people's channels. I'm sure they have lots of coverage of it. With all of those shows, they always have like wheelchair seating and things like that, so you would be able to find that, but we did not. Also, I think Adam might have said this in an earlier clip, but our apologies for not being able to show you what it's like to get on the boat, like with him getting on the boat, but we had to put his safety first, so I'm sure you'll all understand that. So there was just no way to safely do it, but hopefully, we've described it, and if you have questions about what we did, then please put it in the comments. We would be happy to talk you through.
Or remember
if you
stuff
want
like
more
that.
details on how that worked. And we've got, enough pictures that I think you can kind of get a sense. But, unfortunately, it wasn't something we could have done. But we definitely enjoyed it. We had a great day. So it's
Frozen night.
Frozen night. So also dinners for Frozen Night. The way they do it here is that they have everyone repeat their night 2 restaurant in night 3, but it's just the Frozen menu. So it's like you're not missing any normal programming, which actually makes a lot of sense, because when you do it with the other one, like you miss the programming of one of your rotations, or
Yeah.
the way they do it. So it actually, even though I was like confused by it, it actually makes a lot of sense the way they do it here. And since we were in animators for tonight, they had Frozen scenery on all of the TVs. So like that was a nice touch, but it wasn't all that, like there was no show, there was no like
Dancing and
yeah, none of that.
all that
They
stuff.
had the uniforms were like
or Frozen like esque, and so so that was just Frozen Night, and so the menu was Frozen themed. But it was pretty good. We had I had Anna's scallops, coronation scallops, which is puff pastry with scallops. I also had the baby Jim salad,
we both had that.
and then I also had the salmon.
We both had that.
I had that.
So the only thing was different was that I couldn't get the puff pastry because it was puff pastry, and so I got the carrot soup, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the same. I'd never had carrot soup, so if you were in the same boat and have never had carrot soup, it is in the same class as
butternut squash soup,
like butternut squash, pumpkin, those kinds of things. Except for it was carrot. A little less creamy, but still had a creaminess to it.
Yeah.
It was okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to get carrot soup, but like it made me think of Sven, and so that did its job, right? Like I think that was the goal. So it was fine. And then Adam very smartly asked if we could take our desserts back to our room because we were just so tired. I mean, I don't think I've ever been this tired trying to.
It was cold and rainy. I think that's probably what one of it is. Your body's just like.
It was a good day, but it was a long day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sleep really well.
Yeah.
I think that's so I'm very much looking forward to putting on my pajamas and going to sleep. Tomorrow we have Icy Strait, and so we will make that a separate video. And we are doing the Huna sightseeing tour as well as the whale watching cruise. So we will, and both of those are wheelchair accessible with a little asterisk. So stay tuned for our next video to learn about that asterisk. See, now he's doing it too.
Sorry.
But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments. And until next time,
Stay strong.
get creative.
Keep exploring.
We'll see you in the next video.